Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 5th episode of Testers Tower Live, where we learn to be a better tester. Today we're taking a look at another test design technique that we're going to choose by random and do some hands-on testing with it. So our randomizer gave us a black box testing, it's a tour-based testing, it's a configuration tour. Which means this helps me to find all the ways you can change settings in a product in a way that application retains those settings, which is those short description from the black book of the test design techniques. Configuration means then that applying all the different settings and setting combinations to the product and seeing and then looking into if there's any problems with those. Does it retain those settings? Does it cancel some settings? Or how does it manage that overall? Not only in the product, but also outside of it. If we can see, does it store it in a file or in a web-based system? It stores it in a database somewhere, and so on and so forth. Let's hop into our game, which today is Xenonauts, which is an indie development game. It hasn't been released yet. This is a Kickstarter demo version of it. This is a successor to the original U4XCOM game. It's quite nice. It looks the same. It's style-based. There's no fancy graphics here, but it has a quite nice look to it. In the context sense, this game for configuration tour kind of testing doesn't have much baggage, because even if it is a successor to the original game, the settings don't have much meaning to it. The original game had settings, every game has settings, it doesn't matter. All it matters is that those settings are easily changeable as we go in and see what we have here. And you can see what they do. There's no too much cluttering, and it's easy to, and you can change all things you expect to change from a PC game. First of all, if I look at it, it's not very easy to see, actually. It's the whole game problem. The fonts are a bit too small for in windowed mode, because I'm running this on windowed mode in 720p. It doesn't look very nice. It's a bit too small to read. The text is what it is, and I don't really like the coloring, although it's the gray is a bit too gray, and I don't know, it could be more readable in this sense. It's good that they have the scroll bars for configuration, sensitivity, music volume and such, but also useful that they have the little numbers here, so you actually know that how much it is, rather than just some random progress bar that you can change by pixels. So it's nice, you can change the options to there. We have nothing, we just game options here. We have sound, music, and we have controls. The scroll bar I can't control it by mouse. Oh, I can, I just have to be very careful positioned. These are all keyboard hotkeys, which we can change and try to see if we can put some double keys or something like that, if it lets us do that. In addition, I'll just want to close that. Oh, it's a load, it's a new game, it's game options, but yeah, of course we have options for this as well we need to discover. First of all, what I like to do is go through the main screen and the game itself to see where do we have any options. I have a save game here, which I'll just load up, which is really quickly loading. These aren't exactly settings as such anymore, because they're in-game stuff you can do. The speed, how quickly the time goes forward. There's all the things I can do in the game. Those aren't settings as such, so I will not really concentrate on these when going through this. Yeah, maybe if we can configure our vehicles or soldiers. What is this? we have some soldiers here, because we can configure what the equipment do they have, but this isn't setting as such, so I'll just ignore it for the time being, and our base building and everything such. We'll go back to our options, load a game, resume, options. We'll go back to game options. So, we can change the options in game. No, we can't. Oh, I can only see what they are. If we quit the game, then we can change the options. Okay, nice, neat, no problem there. I want to show you the video options as well, but I would have to close the game for that because it has a launcher application, and I don't think I can actually show it very well. Therefore I won't do it, but the video options weren't very much. There were if it is a windowed or non-windowed mode, meaning full screen, and the resolution in which it's going to play, maybe something else as well, like brightness, maybe. Yeah. Well, you can check it out, it's not that much. So actually we have very little settings in the settings tab to test, but we'll give it a go. Scrolling up, okay, where's AD? It's a classic scrolling. How can we change it? By clicking there, and we'll just don't change it. Does it? Okay, I can just clean all of these by clicking just everywhere, and if I don't do anything, does it? Well, this is a bit annoying. You don't see it, but the game has crashed. I'll put back the overlay and I'll restart the game, because, well, otherwise it doesn't make much sense to test it. I'll see if I can show you the startup screen as well. I'll put something behind it so it would be actually normal. We'll go to this place. And here you can see this is the starting screen or launcher for this game. So you can choose either different things. You can start a quick battle or just do a full demo, because the demo game, I don't own it yet. And here are the options, the video options. Yeah, because we have display resolution, window, anti-aliasing, and game modes. There are no boards. Extract XML files. Because this game is highly moddable, you can add some mods if you want, but I will not go into that right now. Of course, we see that there's a problem with seeing through the bottom two options, and it's not very readable because of it. Yes, you can pre-order the game, and that just shows through. It's a small problem. We'll launch. We can open the manual. It opens a web browser where we can read what's going on. We'll just ignore it for first and just run the full demo. And we'll switch back to our game window. Let's see if we can reproduce the problem that we saw. Last time we did, we just made all of the keys unbinded. There's down, left, and right. Scroll down is S usually, left is up is SUD, the right is D. That should be correct. I pressed escape to get back from the menu, and if I press escape again, from slowly dying, nothing happened. Maybe it's the options that I need to do all of them unbinded and then escape. Let's see if it does that. If it does it then. No, it doesn't. Oh, and when we try to go back, I'll just show you. I think you should see. Yes, you see it at least. We have a problem with pure virtual function goal. Xenonauts Kickstarter demo has crashed, which isn't, of course, very nice. I'll start the game again, and we'll see where we can go from that. So setting options seems to be like a big problem for this game. And again, I just tapped out with escape when I had unbinded lots of keys. If I leave one unbinded, we'll see if we can still get this problem and go back. Now it just reverts back as it should, no problem there. If we have all of these unbinded and we go back and go in and go back a couple of times and go in, it just reverts back, no problem. Maybe it was something in some other area that we need to look for. But okay, we can spend time in actually pinpointing that bug, but I don't want to waste your time with that. So we'll just see some other things we can do with configurations. Because that was the cancellation thing, where we don't store the settings we have changed, and we'll just see how the product reacts to that, if it refers to default or what it does. So it crashed, so it wasn't very nice. We'll just put here T, F, H and G, for example, and we'll just tab out, tab in. Of course, it's remembered all these. Zoom in. I cannot put in scroll wheel for that, so I'll just put in E, and zoom out is D. Let's see if it memorizes those as well. It should be, because it's basically the same thing that we are doing, nothing in particular. Now let's try to see if we put some duplicate keys. Oh, this is interesting. Game over. By doing what? I pressed, I did key binding, the reset view, the time speed 1, 2, 3. I'll put E, and it's game over. Resume game. Game options. Oh, okay. It seems to be a quite nice bug. Let me demonstrate it. I'll close the game. I'll quit the game and see if we can start it again. And see if our options actually were retained, and if the same problem happens if I do the same thing. Now if we go look at it, we have TFT ED, we have ED in a couple of places, and now if we set time speed 4 by pressing 4, and the game is over. It seems to be that if we have no bases and we have nothing done and we haven't actually started the game, and we use the key binding for increasing game time, then it actually starts up, and because we have no defenses, the aliens will just run over the world and everything will be destroyed. Wonderful. If we resume the game, we can't. We'll just get a new screen here. Okay, we'll try not to do that again. We'll all just ignore that kind of problem with the binded keys. What else do we have? We have lots of E's here. Now if we load a game and actually oh, it doesn't like that. Okay, it's probably more than that. It's just if we rebind all the E's to something actually useful or not binded keys. Oh, that was nice. Did you notice the bug? Let me demonstrate you. If I have highlighted specific item which is unbinded right now, and I'll leave it unbinded and go unbind this, and then go back and press 2, then they both are set to 2, because I've highlighted another thing. I go here, I highlight it, nothing happens. If I unbind it, go like here, with cursor, and now press 2, then both will be binded to no. So I have to unbind them both, so highlight them with cursor and press 2, then they're both assigned, which is an annoying problem if you want to quickly rebind your keys, something that should be reported to the guys. What else do we have here? We have done double binding, we have done binding cancellation, we have done... let's see if we can do some weird inputs, because we can. No. We put the asterisk and then... Oh, what? Why did that happen? Let's put them back to V, S, A, D. That was not binded. Let's put minus. Let's put them something which isn't binded, like, I don't know. I have to check. It doesn't automatically unbind the keys, so we have plus numbers, we have numbers, we have tab. Plus means control, most probably. So we can bind control keys. Let's see if we can bind control 7. Yes, it's plus, but we tried to bind shift. So that's also, but it doesn't tell us it's a shift or control. Can we bind F1? Yes, we can. Perfect. 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, that's the double binding problem again. I don't even have to highlight them. It's even funnier. 6 and 7 and 8. Oh, that was space already. Let's keep it at space. So we have here these keys. That should be okay without any problems. Let's go back. Let's go here. Let's see if our original problem with set time speed is still an issue. If we go back in and press F4, F5, 3, it doesn't happen. It only happened if I had them set to the same many keys to the same specific key, then it just was ruined. Maybe it's their developers' fun way of saying that you have double binded your keys, which would be rather silly. But it's a demo, so these things can happen. It's not the final game. But it's small annoying things. Okay, we'll see if we can bind Altier something. Okay, it just uses that as a prefix rather than a symbol. We'll use something like this one. I wonder what it does. It doesn't show me much, it's just a plus. I use the key that you use to get the weird Latin characters, like the E with a dash, like the French use. You press that, and then you press E, and you get that E with a dash, or the Z with a cross through, and something like those. But it doesn't seem to work this way, which is good. But I know what the plus means. Does it mean it's just some key, or is it something else? Nobody knows. Okay, we could do that for more times. I think we should do some changing with in a new game to see, or just load an old game to see if our changes actually work. Because right now we have rebinded the zoom in and zoom out to F1 to F7 time speed keys, and maybe they conflict with something else in the game, like selecting interceptors that we have here in 2, 3, 4. And what happens if they are actually like that in the game. Double click to load the game, and nothing happens. New game. Escape. Load the game. It doesn't want to load the game. It doesn't give me any game options as well. I think the game is bugged in that way, and I'll just run it again to see if we can get it sorted out. And here it is. Fortunately, it loads quickly. We load the game, and we're in the game. If we go now to options, we see that our options are retained and they're duplicate. For F2 selects, resets our view and just stuff. And F4 sets the game speed and selects vehicles. So let's see if it actually happens. This is the character I was talking about for E with the dash. You see, I've used it as to name the base. So we'll set the game speed a bit faster and then press F4. It goes back. I don't think it selected anything. If we use select target, oh, it actually does, I guess. Select target location, yes. F1, 2, 3, 4. So the hotkeys do work duplicately, which is a bit bad, I guess. Especially because you cannot change them Oh, you can change them in game. It just doesn't give me the highlight anymore. So, okay, zoom in, we'll put I, and zoom out is K. So both are K now. This is I and this is K. Okay, you have to be very careful where you are with your mouse cursor in order to use those keys. It takes a while for them to kick in, but they work. So we can rebind our keys in game as well, and if we don't click it and we'll just press doesn't happen. If we click it once, yeah, that's the problem that they have now. Everything is K. I don't know how it actually likes that, but it seems to do the scrolling function only and not everything else. So they have a bit of a problem there, but there's nothing much there. Because these options are all for the same game, it doesn't matter that much that we can load different kind of game. We don't have different options in there, therefore we can use that idea that we'll save some stuff for one game and we'll see different options in the other, because it doesn't seem to have sort of profiles that we could manipulate or use in a way that might make problems in the game more visible. Because that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to help developers to let them know that there might be a problem here. If we do like that, then users might experience these kinds of problems and therefore have problems with the game and therefore not buy it, or rather than they would complain about it a lot in YouTubes, in forums, and other people won't buy the game and it will be awful and everybody would be really bad, because it would be a very nice game if they finish it. They have said they will finish it this year, but well, as we can see, there are problems already with it. I guess some of the crashings might be due to the XSplit recording. Some games don't like it, but hopefully it's not a problem. What we can try to see with different games is if it actually retains their settings that we can use here, their settings of the game, how hard it is to play. As you can see, it's easy to insane, and there are other options that we can select. Explanatory tooltips cannot be selected anyway, so I guess that's not it. Oh, we already started. Okay, we'll just go back because that's a bit too quickly. The comments operation is a button that start the game. I've thought for a second that something else. It's a bit of a usability thing. So I have already made a veteran game. I'll make an insane game where I cannot check the Iron Man mode off. I'll actually make a normal game without Iron Man because the other game is with Iron Man mode. So we'll start it. I have to select primary base location. I won't do that. Oh, I'll just put it somewhere. I can't select something else. Let's just take the remotest thing we can find here. Yes, it's a base here in, well, very far away from Europe or any other mainland activities near Alaska and Kamchatka, if that tells you anything. But let's see if we now try to, well, let's just save the game, enter save name, blah blah blah, for a second, because that's not what we're testing, so we'll just use something in it. We could use a name which we have then later on know what it is, like we should have put the name in that this is a normal mode, non-Iron Man game, so we would actually know what it is. So far we don't actually know what it is, we just know it's... It doesn't show me the game options in this load, so we'll quit the game and see if it doesn't show it here, because it does. It's a normal mode, it's a veteran mode, it's a veteran mode, but it doesn't show it's Iron Man game because it isn't. But I wonder if we can resave this game in a way that does it then tell us if it's an Iron Man or not. Oh, yes, of course. We cannot rename save the Iron Man game because there is no saving and loading for that concept of Iron Man means if you make a mistake, you cannot load and go back. If you quit the game, it saves it, and that's about it. So there's actually no such thing we can do. We can rename that save, but we can just see that okay, it is an Iron Man mode, and this one isn't. It's actually quite a bit bad. I think it would be nice to be able to name the save games as well, in addition to that. So we just, if many people play the game on the same computer, they can just differentiate between their games, rather than only using the date option when somebody last played, or where he actually was. So that's easier. Just resume operation. That means I have to select the game and then press resume, then it actually does it. It's a bit weird that it's under the screen a bit. It's like lost there. It could be that it's because of the 720p. Okay. So, in conclusion, configuration tour means going through the configurations, options, settings, everything you can do to set up the product in a way you're going to use it and manage it, and then you'll just see what you can do there, how you can set those options, and how do those settings affect the product. In this case, we went through the game options. There weren't much, but there were some key bindings that had problems, and some few crashes as well, which is always nice to find. The game in the background, or the product in testing, was Xenonauts, which is a spiritual successor to the UFO XCOM series. So please go check them out. They have a Kickstarter running. Maybe I have to check, maybe it has finished already. But support the games, it's going to be awesome, and I hope you learned something about testing. So see you next time.